So firstly, hi everyone attending the session live at this time. So I am Prateek Batra. I work at Gojek. It's a Southeast Asia multi-service platform, on-demand service platform. Currently, I work as an Android engineer, and today my talk is also going to about something related to Android. It's a Media 3 transformer. As you can see in the title, Unleashing the Power of Media 3. That title seemed to be too fancy, but I will try to keep the talk as beginner as possible. So a little bit about Media 3. So Media 3 is a new like a bundle of libraries that consist of all the Android related things, Android media related things in it. So this will be our agenda for today. We will start with what is Jetpack Media 3, and then we will rewind back like early approaches of media editing, and then we will get to our main topic, what is Jetpack Media 3 Transformer. Alongside it, I will give you a little bit of code and a demo. I will try to keep it small as possible. Okay. So what is Jetpack Media 3? So if I say in one line, it's a new home for all the media libraries. As you can see, I have written here. And so Jetpack Media 3 is a set of libraries that work like in case we have any work related to the media files in Android, we can use Jetpack Media 3. So prior to this, we had many different libraries specific to these two, Media 2 and Exoplayer 2. So both of these libraries had somewhat similar and different capabilities. So it was quite difficult to like check like which one to use in which situation. If I give you a brief overview of like what it looked like, so this is how it looked like. The combination of Media 2 and Exoplayer is more or less similar to Media 3. So in Media 3, what Google has done is try to collate all the different use case into a single bundle so that we have a single source of truth to do a single task. Like earlier we had Media 2 session and Exoplayer media session. So we don't know which one to use at which. And if I am a beginner, it will be quite difficult for me to like even like get to it because it's quite complex code wise, and some of the different things like UI common remain same. So this is a completely written over the Media 2 and Exoplayer. So in case anyone trying to explore Media 3, there is no need to learn Media 2 or Exoplayer. They can directly jump into Media 3. Okay, so let's rewind back a little bit. So before Media 3 Transformer, we used to have different things. So these are all high level things: media codecs, media extractor, OpenGL. All of these are used in combination to edit or transcode a media on Android. So like then what's the use of like Media 3 Transformer if you already had this? So first thing is like if I consider these three libraries only, they are humongous line of code. So line like thousands of lines of code just to do a small task, and they were quite complex and not at all easy to understand. Like I will show a bit of it, like why is it complex. And with all these three libraries in specific, like there is extensive code and like a lot of raw parameter handling. By raw parameter, like I have to basically manipulate the direct frame of that video, like and like considering like Android developer, like if you are especially a beginner, like I don't even know like what's a frame. I need to like why do I need to so much of math just to edit a video? So so what is Jetpack Media 3? So Jetpack Media 3 is basically a high level API to edit media. So whatever we used to achieve earlier, we are achieving the same things, but in a more easy and flexible way. It is a quick plug and play thing. So we just have to add the dependency and start editing. We don't need to add any third party library, or we need to learn a lot of code to onboard to this. And if we come to performance, this is since this is built on top of the existing library like media coding, media extractor. So the performance is same and even more optimized than the previous, and quite less lines of code. Since this is a high level API, we don't need to understand or write a lot of codes. This is just abstract of all those complexity bundled into a small library. When I say like less lines of code, you must be thinking, okay, how much less? So if you see, so here is an example of if I want to convert a video to grayscale. So on the left, you can see these. This is the like lines of code that I have to write. It's approximately 300 lines of code. And on the right, you can see if I use media 3 transformer, there is already a filter there. So I don't need to write the code for that. And all I have to do is set up and use it. So it's close to like 30 lines of code. So it's approximately 90% less lines of code that I have to write just to achieve the same thing. And I don't need to understand the underneath, like what's happening underneath, because it's just a grayscale filter. Why do I need to understand what XY position I have to change it, and why which frame I have to change it? And so this is the code for it. So when I mention plug and play, it's quite simple. So by plug it, we just need to like add the dependency, and by play it, I just need to like do any task. So here, as you can see, so I can create a effect with it, and transformer is basically what we mean by a media 3 transformer. Transformer provides me callback whenever my media transformation is completed or I get an error, and everything is quite simple. I give it a media source and a path to save. It just edit the media and give me a callback. So this is just plug it and play it. So for this same piece of code example, let me show what I have achieved with it. So this is a demo for same. So here, like let me try to pause and send here. So here I have like this is from my demo app. I have attached the link for that also. In case anyone trying to want to explore it, they can check this. And so here what I did, I had selected the grayscale method as I explained in my example. So all I need to, so this is what the end result will look like for the same video. Just an FYI, if you try this demo repo, it takes around 1 minute to like transform the video. So you can like check there. They like you don't go just like why is it not working. It takes time to like transform. Think this one is from my end. You guys can connect with me on Twitter. Meet like I have written quite a lot of articles around Media 3, Exoplayer, and alongside many other things. And you guys can connect with me. Uh, okay, okay. Oh, I think that's it. I have tried to keep it quite short. Even I didn't suspected that I will be done with this in this small time.
Popping on my video in just a second, but thank you very much, Prateek, for the talk. It was lovely, and I feel like a good introduction to the Media 3 Transformer. Let's see. Let's give everybody a few minutes to post questions if you have them. I don't see any yet. But yeah, how do you feel the talk went?
Like, so even I didn't thought like I will be done with this in such a short time. Like I was preparing for it, but every time I was getting like stuck in between or a little like I get confused. So I tried to give it in one shot. I thought I succeed, but let's see if anyone has any questions. And yes, even if someone watches the recorded one, like they can connect with me. I have written quite a few articles around like what is Media 3, how I can start with it, what is Media 3 Transformer. I will soon be publishing another article around this Media 3 Transformer, specifics to what all things you can do. So stay tuned for that.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you're clearly diving deep into this topic, which is good. It's always important, I think, for engineers in our community for there to be people inspired to dig deep.
Mhm.
Because first party documentation can be helpful, but to a lot of people, like the way it's organized is not necessarily what you need to get started. It's not.
Yes.
Um, and so supplemental resources can be very, very helpful. So good
Yes.
on you for being so call it ambitious with the amount of effort you're putting into this.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. Actually, even I started writing on this like when I felt okay. I don't find any good resources around this to like read upon. Like there is always set of videos, but and the Google's or Android official documentation, but I felt those are not good enough for me to even start with. So when I explored all those things in experimental ways, so I tried to like write them up, and that's how I got started with this. Like so, that's why. And this was a topic that I felt okay. Everyone would be curious to know about it, but no, there are no like saved resources, okay, or no simple resources to like okay. I just want to understand it. I don't want to dig deep in okay, like
Mm.
how is it working internally, like because that's no use of a beginner.
Interesting. Yeah, you can spend a lot of time trying to understand how things work, and the
Yes.
amount of value you get out of digging that deep is questionable
Yes.
sometimes. Um, but then again, we always need people like you who actually did dig deep, so that when those edge cases do show up and they're inevitable, somebody knows what's going on.
Mm. Yes. Everybody know like there is no need for everyone to go through the same cycle and learn again the same thing that anyone else has learned.
Exactly. We don't have any questions, so I guess I'll just ask one then. What drove your interest in Media 3 Transformer? Is it like at work you were handed a task and it involved this, and then I mean, because that's the typical way I get interested in things. Is I get handed something at work, and then it turns out to be an area I haven't ventured before, and then it's like, ooh, this is kind of fun. But I'm curious what happened, how this came about for you.
So I started with like media and all. So in my last organization, I worked at a edtech startup. So there we had a lot of work around like video streaming, video player, video on demand. So it was kind of like this. So there I got started with media and all. But all the difficulty that I faced there, I tried to write them in an article, and then I okay got in a habit of okay like digging deep into well, what more thing I can explore.
Mm.
And coming to the transformer one, like no, there was no work related stuff for that since I was like trying all those different things. So when Google introduced Media 3 and all, so I wrote down some of the things like what all things like they have newly introduced, and there is no documentation around this or no easy to understand guide for that. So then I tried working around it, and then I found this one specifically interesting because like every Android engineer tries to make a small app around video editing, photo editing, or to-do app. So these are the basic things. But to-do app is quite easy for one to understand because there is no complexity around to learn the things ending. But when we go to photo editing, these are a lot of specific Android specific constraints like what is a frame, how do we edit that particular frame. So these are a lot like as an engineer these are good to learn, but as a beginner like those are quite unnecessary for one to start with because like I just need to start with, and that's demotivates anyone. Okay, yeah, why should I try, this is quite complex for me. So that's how I started with, and that's how I explored because even like if media 3 transform one, I wouldn't even have like picked up media editing because media editing itself is quite complex and has a lot of code. Like I have seen even demo app of that having thousand or thousand like quite big, and that's even a demo app, that's not even a like a big full-fledged project. So in a full-fledged project it will be like thousands of lines of code, and like no one to guide me through how to start with. So that's how okay, this is a topic, and anyway, Google is gonna push it hard for us to like try to understand it. So let's try with it. I thought.
Interesting. So it's a passion project. It's something that spiked your curiosity and you just chased it.
So I tried it with curiosity, and then I thought, okay, I can share this with anyone. I didn't started it with a topic. Okay, this is an interesting topic to deliver a talk about. I started it that okay, let me try to understand it. Like, what is it? And then I thought, okay, this is a good topic to share with everyone.
Huh. Well, good on you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for giving that platform to share everything.
Okay, then I guess we're good to close out. I think the next talk starts in a little over 15 minutes from now. Until then, folks, ciao. And thank you again, Prateek, for coming through and speaking.
Thank you. Thanks from India.
Ciao.